This is the Morning Drive Podcast from Double T 97.3, presented by Cantex Roofing and Construction.
I'm Mike Hebert, owner of Cantex Roofing and Construction. Every day is game day, and we'll get it right when it comes to your roofing, construction, windows, and mirrors. Call Cantex Roofing and Construction today. Together, we are one serving you.
This day in sports history, we do it every day, not just Groundhog Day. At 7 o'clock, we will preview men's basketball tonight. The Red Raiders take on the Kansas Jayhawks. Our coverage at 7, play-by-play at 8 tonight. It's an 8 p.m. tip-off. And next we'll talk some Red Raider baseball.
The Morning Drive on Double T 97.3.
You are so lucky I like baseball.
What does that have to do with it?
Your little Groundhog Day joke was going to get you the bump-bump-a-da, but you said we're going to talk baseball, and I like baseball. That would be rude to do it to baseball. You think you're baseball lucky stars.
I just thought that was a little funny.
Which part? I'm confused.
When he said we're going to do this day in sports history today, we do it every day. It's not like it's Groundhog Day.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I was just trying to be clever, funny.
Okay.
You know.
Why is Jeff so angry about Groundhog?
We are looking at a rodent to tell the weather. And making a big deal out of it.
Well,
so you're big time anti Groundhog Day?
Yes, unless it's the movie. If we're talking the movie, that's a different story.
Did you watch the movie?
The movie
over
is
the weekend?
awesome. No, I did not watch the movie this weekend. Okay, I was watching sports this weekend and digital jets flying around this weekend.
But you, Jeff, you realize that nobody takes it serious, right? It's just like this funny little thing.
Nobody.
Do people like plan their schedules around it?
Do people? Huh.
Well,
I know no one can see me, but I really hope you can feel that I'm looking over to Jamie's left.
Do people take it more serious than I'm giving it credit for?
I don't necessarily think so. I think they do in Puxatawny, Pennsylvania.
They're allowed. It's their thing. It's their big event.
But I didn't bring up Prairie Dog Pete or any of that other gibberish.
So you're not angry about the weather. You're angry per se that
we have decided to make this a national story that needs breaking news coverage from everybody.
See,
because of the weather.
And you're shocked that Chuck has mentioned it 3 times already.
No, I'm not shocked. It adds to the annoyance. Actually,
and see, you're making a
you sound
mountain out of a molehill.
You sound like
how about the baseball team?
You kind of sound like me in regards to this weather, the weather that we had the last, whatever 2 weeks ago, 2 weeks that is still lingering. Okay, I finally washed my vehicle yesterday.
Okay, good.
Okay,
it's on the plan for today.
I also pressure washed my garage floor because of the sand and dirt and all that had ended up on my garage floor. And the whole time I was just there mumbling under my breath angrily about you people who love the snow and it's so pretty. And it would be fun to have a little snowstorm to shut down the city. And so not into this. The snow, it can go away forever as far as I'm concerned. That might cause global warming. I don't know. But
we're high enough that even if the sea does rise, we'll still be okay.
Okay. Yeah.
We might get some beachfront property even.
So Saturday, you had the Texas Tech baseball team take on the alumni. And first of all, how well was it received? Because it sounded like and looked like it was awesome. But you were there and got to experience it, and just your overall feeling about the whole thing.
Well, I think the crowd was good. It showed that Red Raider fans were excited about it and excited about seeing the old guys and excited about seeing so many of the newcomers that you have and learning what this year's team, what they're like. So I thought the crowd was great considering that it was in the high 30s.
Mm-hmm.
And the players, and talking to the players, I think the former players, I think they had an absolute blast. And they were, it felt like everybody that didn't show up or couldn't come was texting those guys or calling those guys and was jealous that they weren't there. And which leads you to believe that this could happen more in the future. And I don't know if that means they're going to if they're going to get a whole bunch more of them, are they just going to play alumni versus alumni, or are they going to continue to do this where they play the actual team? So, but I think that was the fun part in doing the interviews with the players during the game is that how much fun that they were having, how much
that was awesome.
razzing they were giving each other. There was talk, little trash talk between the two sides and all that kind of stuff. So I think they took it serious. I thought Cole Stillwell's point was really funny when he said, hey, for a lot of us, baseball's over. This is our World Series right here. This is what we've got to live off of. So I think they took it serious and really wanted to win and perform. And, I think that then there's part of it, with talking with Chris Richburg about it, and, hey, this is the first time like his kids have ever seen him play baseball. And so there was pressure on him, who's his little boy is in the dugout with him. There's pressure on him to, not look like a dork in front of his kid, And so he stepped out there and ended up flying out, but he ripped one out to center field pretty good. And I think he was, the sense of relief that I didn't strike out in front of my son.
Okay.
First time he's ever seen me take an AB. You can tell him all those stories about, oh man, I cranked this many homers out as a Red Raider and I played in the minor leagues and all that. But, and so I think there's that side of it that made those guys, want to perform and play well. And then there's some of the guys that are still in minor league baseball or, pitching professionally like Hunter Dobbins or whatever. So it's not that quote unquote big of a deal, but at the same time, there's value in getting out there and performing well. So I think the competition part of it was good, was high.
And once the competition got juiced a little bit, it was important to perform well because of the competition, for both sides. I think Josh's interview kind of put it best. He's like, at the beginning they were chirping at us because this is the first time they're playing something that wasn't them, and that's when we were like, no, that's not how this is going to work.
Not how we're going to go. Yeah.
Do you think it's something that could sustain itself every year, or do you think it's something that has to have a little time in between?
I think they're going to work really hard to talk Coach Tadlock into, I don't know if they have to work hard, but I think the guys are going to work really hard to make sure they're doing it again next year. That's what it sounded like.
Yeah.
That's what it sounded like. So hopefully that's the case. I that's a good question you asked. Would it be better every other year? And I'm
have
not
a little
really
anticipation for
it.
Or?
I'm not sure, but I know the guys really enjoyed it. And talking to the guys, they're like, "Hey, next year I'm going to be more prepared." Mm-hmm. They even talked about having some practices before.
It's awesome. It's awesome.
So I think they have the desire to continue to do it, and I think it's great for the fans. Everybody got to sign, get autographs and take pictures and do all of that and watch those guys play and wear Red Raider uniforms again, which I think is really awesome.
All right, we'll continue this discussion with baseball. We got This Day in Sports History next, but I want to get Jamie's thoughts on the guys that are going to be playing every day for the Red Raiders coming up.
Your daily dose of sports and fun. This is the Morning Drive Podcast from Double T 97.3, presented by Cantex Roofing and Construction.
Drive time for This Day in Sports History. Today is Monday, February the 2nd, 2026. With This Day in Sports History, here is Jeff McGuire.
1949, gentlemen, is where we will start. American golfing champion Ben Hogan, severely injured in an auto accident. 1959. Some guy named Vince Lombardi signs a 5-year contract to coach the NFL Green Bay Packers.
I think it worked out for him.
I was going to say, I wonder how that went.
1970. LSU's Pete Maravich becomes the first to score 3,000 college basketball points.
I wish I had been around for the Maravich era. Seems like he was a really fun player to watch.
The problem, though, in those days, there were hardly any games on TV. Mm-hmm. So, because, my recollection of Pete Maravich is just a guy that scored a lot of points, but, you never really got to see him play unless you saw some happened to see some old black and white, film on him.
1974, sophomore Rick Bullock scores 41 points as Texas Tech wins its 8th straight game, beating TCU 82-64 here in the 806.
He is in the Ring of Honor at United Supermarkets Arena, and tonight they will add another name to the Ring of Honor. They were going to put Bubba Jennings in for the Houston game, but the snowstorm kept them from doing that. And Bubba's in town, and he'll be inducted into the Texas Tech Ring of Honor tonight.
Awesome. Definitely deserving. That's cool.
And in 2014, at the Super Bowl at MetLife Stadium in East Rutherford, New Jersey, Seattle Seahawks beat the Denver Broncos 42-8. Malcolm Smith, Seattle linebacker, your MVP.
Boy, that would be a hard trivia question.
It would, right? I was just thinking, man, that's a game you really don't think about.
It was over, so quickly.
Mm-hmm.
It is Heavenly Hash Day.
Okay, what does that include?
Glad you asked, Chuck. It's rice, pineapples, cherries, marshmallows, and whipped cream. This sounds like the fruit salad thing that usually shows up around Christmas.
Yeah.
But they replaced the coconut with rice.
Wow.
I would try it. There's nothing in there I don't like.
Chuck, did you hear by any chance John Harris mention on Saturday that in his talk with Coach Tadlock this week, they talked about the new turf and there are not rubber pellets in there?
Oh no, I didn't hear that part.
But part of what's in there is coconut.
It's coconut.
Coconut.
Just one?
Wow.
Not coconuts, Jeff. Apparently there's coconut.
Are they worried about the birds getting down in there and eating it?
I have no idea.
That's wild.
Maybe it's just the outer edge or something and not the white part. I don't know. But there's coconut.
Huh. Little feel of the islands there.
Yes.
Did you just shake your head when he started talking about the turf?
There were like 4 things mentioned, and I was in shock that Coach Tadlock knew of all these 4 things. Just because that doesn't seem like something that he would
I got you.
bother to care about, right? It's like, it's a baseball field, but, whatever.
We got the bases in the right spot, right? Okay.
Yes. I'm trying to remember. I asked somebody, does it smell like coconut?
Uh-huh.
And they said they had not gotten their nose down to sniff the turf yet.
Okay. We give you something to do when you go down there. Walk the field.
Yeah, I'm sure they wouldn't think, hey, why is Jamie over there sniffing the turf? I hope the fans like the new double T out there in center. It looks good. And the script Red Raiders behind home plate is new.
Yeah.
Yep. Looks really good. They got some different lines in the turf that you noticed. And the snowbanks were gone. So that's
good. That's always helpful, too. Yeah.
Shakira is 49 today. Dog Bounty Hunter, 73. Blake Clark is 80. He was the Cajun coach for the Waterboy.
Oh, yeah.
Brett Spinner is 77. Christy Brinkley, the original Uptown Girl, is 72.
Wow.
And JT Daniels is 26.
Christy Brinkley is 72. Goodness.
She still got it.
She still got it, yes.
She'll be dead 20 years. She still got it then.
Okay, that's sick.
That's how much she's got still.
That's gross.
And instead of talking about a rodent today, we are going to look at 1913. New York City's Grand Central Terminal opens for the very first time. It was designed to usher in New York into the dynamic 20th century. However, as early as 1945, there were calls to have it torn down. However, the destruction of the original Penn Station between 1963 and 1966 sparked a movement to preserve architectural significant buildings in New York, including Grand Central. Several high-profile New Yorkers, including former First Lady Jackie Kennedy Onassis and architect Philip Johnson, formed the Committee to Save Grand Central. The committee fought to preserve Grand Central status as a landmark building, ensuring it could never be torn down. A $100 million restoration began in 1980, reestablished Grand Central as the busiest monument in the power grid of New York City.
Okay.
Did you know that there is a tennis court in Grand Central Station.
Did not know that.
Did not know that.
It's called the Vanderbilt. And
Have you played on it?
No, but my family and I went. We heard this urban myth, rumor, whatever you want to call it, that there was one there.
Okay.
And so but it's really difficult to find. Okay? So we took it upon ourselves that we were going to find this thing. Okay? And it is not easy to find. At one point we went down a hallway that said, it had a, like, not police tape, but like a thing across that said, don't go this way. We figured this has got to be the way, right? Mm-hmm. We get on an elevator and get stuck on the elevator for like 20 minutes before somebody got us off. We finally found the right direction and found the court.
Well, is it in good shape?
Oh, yeah. People play there and all that good stuff. You just have to know how to find it.
Huh.
Yeah. It's crazy.
That's really cool. I did not know that.
Yeah,
And that's the state sports history.
There's hallways and stuff that you just have no idea where they're going in there. And it's in one of those hallways, and then there's a certain elevator that you take, and you go up near the top, and it's there.
There it is.
And people in New York go there, and that's their club to play. It's one court.
One court.
And I think the reservation is like $150 for, like, to play, hour and a half or whatever. Yeah, it's not cheap.
Wow.
How far out do you have to book it?
Yeah, I have no idea.
That sounds like a next time Jamie's in New York trip.
I just thought it was cool to find it.
Yeah, that is cool. 6:53 this morning here on the morning drive. Washed Up Guy says, all I could do was read about Maravich. As Chuck said, other than the national championship game, there were no games on TV. Yeah. Bullfighter, with regard to the Rangers field, or the Texas Tech field with the coconut shell, he says it's the outer coconut shell.
Yeah.
It's the same field material that the Rangers use. Well, it seemed like that would take an awful lot of coconuts versus tires. I wonder what the thought there is of not using the crushed up tire versus the coconut.
I don't know.
And now all I can think about is
I'm told that it's very fast, and I would assume it's not as bouncy.
Okay.
Yeah.
Very fast. Does that play to the Red Raiders team this year? This is the song that I have in my head. You put the lime in the coconut, lime in the coconut, boom.
If you let him sing it, he'll get the right
Would you
words.
turn it up a little bit? I can't hear it. Here we go. Scares me that I was on the same wavelength as Jeff McGuire. It probably scares him as well.
I would be scared.
This is the Morning Drive Podcast from Double T 97.3, presented by Cantex Roofing and Construction.
Thank you for being with us today on Lubbock Sports Station, Double T 97.3 and Double T973.com. We get this from the Yates Flooring Center chat line. As crazy as it is to say, I feel like the UCF loss was a dagger to your Big 12 title hopes. I don't think that's an overreaction, but more of an indication of how elite the top of the league is. I don't believe you can win the league this year with a loss to a non-top team, especially when you take into account that 3 of Tech's toughest remaining games are on the road, and KU seems to be hitting its stride right now. What's your reaction to that?
Right at the end of the broadcast on Saturday, I thought Chris Level said it well when he's like, these are the kind of games that the teams that win this conference win. Mm-hmm. And it's clearly a tough place to play. Clearly they get up for big games against ranked teams or whatever. And you got to find a way, right?
Yeah.
And Arizona went in there and won by 7 or whatever, but it was a close game. It was a dogfight. And so I think there's truth to that, of what the texter is saying. Then I think there's a lot of truth in that. You're a good basketball team, but the top of this league is really, really elite. And if you're going to win this league, man, you can't have any slip-ups, And so we've talked about, there was like 5 games that we mentioned, right, that were the toughest that you had remaining on your schedule. And I think that was before the Houston home game. You had 5 really tough ones, and we didn't list this one.
We didn't.
Right? Fully well knowing, I think all of us would have said it's a losable game.
Yeah.
Okay? Seeing the results of matchups that they played there. And in knowing your history with UCF and Big 12 play. And this is the 3rd time they've beaten you, right?
Yes, that's correct. You've not beaten them since they came into the Big 12.
Yeah, so, I think we all felt like it was a losable one, but didn't think it was in that category of the 5 really tough ones.
Yeah.
So it just, how do you steal one back or whatever? But the way to not that there was a question asked by the texter, but the way to get one back or the way that you can win this thing is to win some of those that you don't expect to win, right? That are really tough. Or just go beat Arizona because they're the number 1 team.
Right.
So you get a win, they get a loss, and it's a win for you that you probably didn't have in the win column.
Yeah, but you kind of look at this and go, okay, this will be your 9th game tonight. Arizona has played 9, and they're 9-0, and then Houston is 7-1. Iowa State is 7-2. Kansas and Texas Tech are both 6-2, and then UCF is 6-3. So you kind of have to look at it now when you kind of break it down as you've got Houston and Arizona and Houston as your top tier, right? Mm-hmm. And then your next tier is Iowa State, Kansas, and Texas Tech. But that might change tonight because the loser of the game tonight might drop down into the next tier with UCF, BYU, and potentially West Virginia.
I don't think so.
You don't? Okay.
I don't. I feel like if you lose a home game of that group, and that's what tonight is, obviously, you might drop out of that quote-unquote tier. I think it makes another tier. I don't think you're in the West Virginia UCF tier. I think you're still above that.
Okay, so you think then it would be whoever loses tonight, UCF and BYU tier.
I think BYU belongs in the same tier with you. I don't think UCF does.
Okay, all right. So tonight, tonight's huge. Do you still feel after the loss on Saturday that there's a path to win the Big 12?
I don't think I thought you were going to win the Big 12 before Saturday.
Okay. I think I share that.
So I don't. Yeah, you're going to have to play out of your mind if you're going to win this league.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, and by the way, Arizona's going to have to get a couple of losses too.
Yeah, more than just one to you.
Yeah, and so you go from playing tonight to playing on February
Sunday.
the 8th.
Sunday.
Yeah, Sunday. Okay, I was trying to figure out what day that was. That's Sunday at West Virginia. And then you come home to face Colorado, and then you go Valentine's afternoon to play Arizona in Tucson. And then you stay on the road, and you play in Tempe on the 17th against Arizona State. So that's
This just in.
Big 12's difficult.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
In other news, the sun will rise this morning.
And then you still have to go to Iowa State, and you still have to go to BYU. So,
yep.
You've got you're, and I'm not going to say that Arizona State's an easy win.
I'm not going to act like you're falling apart or anything. You lost to a good team and a tough place to play on Saturday. You didn't play horrible. You were in that game pretty much the whole way. So I'm not going to act like you're falling apart. I'm also not going to act like you don't have a chance to pull off an upset against one of these teams that we talk about. These, the Iowa States and BYU's on the road and Arizona's on the road. All that you're good enough to do that. Yeah. So, I'm not looking and saying there's no chance that you're going to pull off some upsets. You're a really good team too.
No doubt. Yeah.
Again, I don't think you're going to finish on top of this conference, but you're still a really good team. It's not going to be an 11 next to your name this week, but it's going to be a 13 or 14, whatever. There's a reason for that. You're still really good.
Yeah, and really what you're playing, you're in addition to trying to be as high as you can in the Big 12, you're playing for some seeding too.
Absolutely.
For the NCAA tournament. I'm going to just assume that this person is correct and I'm wrong, which is not uncommon. He says Tech is 1-3 in the conference versus UCF beat them the first time we played them in Big 12 play at home. I didn't remember it like that, but I'll buy what you're selling.
Okay.
You're 1-3, but you certainly have not played them very well the last 3 times. Because you've lost. Somebody wants thoughts on the Devin Cambridge technical. I thought it was stupid.
Well, clearly a guy that has an axe to grind, and he made himself look like a fool. And
he only played 5 minutes in the game. Yeah. So, they set him down pretty quick after that. So, yeah. So, I guess he got what he was looking for, and then he sat on the bench. But it could have cost himself. It could have cost his team.
Am I remembering correctly? I feel like we saw a TCU player do it to a Lady Raider yesterday too, the same gesture.
Yeah, but there wasn't a technical call.
There wasn't a technical call.
That's exactly right.
Yeah.
Olivia Miles did that.
Yeah.
Yeah, so, but we were told, Coach Gerlich said after the game that the officials had said to them that they were going to let them play. And so they let them play.
Well, letting them play means being physical.
Yeah, not what that was.
Not trash talking gestures.
Yeah, no, and there's certainly that by Miles. Somebody says this: people forget Johnny Dawkins can coach too. Well, he certainly has coached that team really well. Mm-hmm. And they're playing themselves into being a tournament team. No question about it. 7:24 this morning here on the Morning Drive. We get this deal agreed. Conference championships don't bear as much weight in basketball due to the tournament. I'd rather do well in the tournament, Sweet 16, Elite 8, Final 4, than win the conference. Yeah, I think you've reached that point.
February 10th of 2024, Red Raiders beat UCF 66-59.
Okay.
At home.
Okay. All right, so I was wrong about that. You have beaten them in Big 12.
The Morning Drive podcast from Double T 97.3 is presented by Cantex Roofing and Construction. Jamie's question of the day on Double T 97.3 is brought to you by Connecticut of West Texas.
Okay, so this is a subject we just kind of touched on here. You lost one on Saturday that you probably felt like you were going to win. Okay? I mean, don't get me wrong. For the most part, I thought that was going to be a win, but then just the way things were trending last week, I felt like it was a game that really scared me.
Yeah.
So I all along didn't have that one as a loss. I had that one as a win. So I'm going to ask you now, of the remaining games that you have, the ones that we feel like are the really tough ones.
Yeah.
Home against Kansas, on the road at Arizona, on the road Iowa State, and on the road BYU. 4 games. Which one is the most likely victory?
Oh, the most likely victory. Okay. I like your odds coming off of a loss tonight. I think he's got. I think we'll see a team that has the full attention of the coach, full attention of the scouting report, and we'll pay attention to detail. So.
Okay, give me the most likely win on the road also.
Okay. I'm not going to say Arizona. I think it's BYU, just because you've beaten them. And I think that you kind of have, you know the path. So I'm going to say winning in Provo, your last Big 12 regular season game of the year.
Jeff?
First question, Kansas, because it's at home. Like, if we were to replace Kansas on the road and make it Iowa State at home, I would say Iowa State at home, like, for the best chance to win.
Okay.
As for the road game, Man. I'm looking at Iowa State, and I don't know why. So I'm going to say Iowa State. But I don't feel great about that answer at all, so especially since they're the 8th-ranked team in the country right now. And that's a hard place to go play basketball.
Yeah. And we didn't even put on this list on the road at West Virginia, which is not the easiest place to get in either. My answers are both with Chuck, and it's Kansas at home. It's just, like Jeff mentioned, that it's at home. That makes a big deal, makes a big difference. And I also think that I just expect a bounce back effort. Okay, and so the crowd will be awesome tonight, and I think we'll feed off of that. I look at Iowa State and Arizona, those, I just don't see them unless Iowa State gets into another funk. I just have a hard time thinking that you will win there. But BYU, for whatever reason, I just feel like we play them well. And that is not an easy place to go win for the Red Raiders. There's no way around it. But
I think anybody. But yeah.
Yeah. So, but I'm gonna pick that one as the most likely win on the road.
Okay.
So you've hit that part of the schedule now, and you get to February. That and there's just not a lot of easy.
Yeah. No, there's
not a lot of easy.
There's not a lot of easy. I mean, especially with what you're faced with, playing away from home. I mean, and your home games. Yeah. Tonight you've got KU, and then February 11th against Colorado. I mean, they've proven to be a tough team, although I feel really good about your odds at home. Kansas State, they're down. Cincinnati, they're down. TCU, that I feel like this will be your last tough team at home tonight.
Okay. You see what Colorado did to TCU yesterday? 87-61.
That's crazy.
That is a beatdown.
It is.
That is a beatdown.
It is. Yeah.
I'm not saying I'm shocked that they won, but man, they won pretty handily. Then it looked like Baylor was dead, and over the weekend they go and win at West Virginia.
Yeah, that's
by 10.
By 10. Yeah, no. I'll tell you the thing that I look at tonight, for between these two teams, just from the Kansas aspect of it tonight. I mean, they were hitting, the threes were really going in for them in the first half, and they're a team that traditionally has been pretty reliant on the three ball. They made 11 threes last night. Saturday afternoon, 11. They also gave up 11. I just don't think they're going to put up 11 threes against you. Because they shot 50% from beyond the arc. And teams, you just don't. It's hard to do that back-to-back nights or back-to-back games. So I think that's the other thing is they don't really shoot very well from the free throw line. They were 15-24. From the free throw line on Saturday at their place. So I don't know. We'll see. I guess what would surprise me is if it was a double-digit win either way tonight. I think it's going to be in the single digits. I think somewhere in the 7 to 9 range by the time it's all said and done. But I think it's going to be 1 or 2 possession game, under 4 minutes to go. So I would expect there to be a really good up and down basketball game tonight between these two teams.
Yeah.
7:38 this morning here. You agree with that?
Yeah, I just feel like this league is full of really good offensive players, and they're fun to watch. So I expect more of that tonight.
So you're ranked 11th going into the polls this week. What do you think you fall to? Do you
probably drop a couple.
Okay.
Maybe 3.
What at this point in time, what do you think is a realistic seed? Like, do you think a 3 seed is still realistic for this team in the NCAA tournament?
It's still possible. Yeah, I mean, but if you're conservative, you're probably going 4.
Yeah.
Yeah, but a 3 is still possible.
Yeah.
Depends how you play the rest of the way.
I mean, you'd have to be lights out to get to a 2 seed at this point.
Oh, win a couple of those road games.
Yeah, absolutely.
It might get you
absolutely.
there.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, win at Arizona and win against BYU or Iowa State. Yeah, then you're playing yourself into the top 10.
Your daily dose of sports and fun. This is the Morning Drive Podcast from Double T 97.3, presented by Cantex Roofing and Construction.
Be hockey night tonight for the Dallas Stars.
That is correct, sir.
And who do the Dallas Stars play tonight?
The Winnipeg Jets in Dallas.
In Dallas, okay.
7:30 puck drop.
7:30 puck drop. If you happened to be in Dallas when the Stars were playing, would you
1,000%
go? Okay, Jamie, would you go?
Hockey in person is a lot of fun.
Yeah, no doubt.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of energy in the building.
I've never been. Like that would be enough for me to want to go.
You have never been to a hockey game?
Never been to a hockey game. I mean, I saw the Cotton Kings here, but
sure. I mean, that's hockey, but I mean,
right.
NHL hockey where it's like up and down the ice, all that kind of stuff.
Like I would go to a Stars game, or if I was in Detroit, I would go to a Red Wings game.
It has been a significant. I'm going to tell you, it's probably been 50 years since I've been to a hockey game. Okay.
All right.
Good
back
morning.
when they didn't have to wear helmets.
Yeah, that's probably true. Yeah, that's exactly right. Good morning with Jamie Lent, Jeff McGuire, and Chuck Heinz. We come to you from the First United Bank studio. Thoughts, comments, Yates Flooring Center chat line, Visual Edge IT hotline, it too is open, 806-771-0973. Jeff, Puxatawny Phil saw his shadow. So there will be 6 more weeks of winter.
There's going to be a dead rodent in the future.
Okay. I don't know about Prairie Dog Pete. We'll get the report on that, I'm sure, later. But tens of thousands, Jamie, gathered in Puxatawny, Pennsylvania. The temperature was about 1 degree above zero. Man, that is chilly willy. But those people, they're used to it.
Yeah, it's kind of a thing to do there, right?
It's kind of a thing to do. Go to see if the groundhog saw his shadow and wear your top hat. I mean, I feel like that
you would really enjoy that.
I feel like if we were on the air in Puxatawny, Pennsylvania, on whatever it would be, 97.3,
we would have had to set up game day.
We would have had to set up game day. Yes,
that's how big of an event this is for them, and it should be for them.
For them,
let's make this clear. For them, go forth and conquer, celebrate your heritage, right? Mm-hmm. It's not a national story.
Yeah. This goes back to 1886. A newspaper guy claimed that a groundhog could predict the weather. So that's how it all got started. All right, I want to circle back to the baseball. We've had a little bit of discussion on this one. The discussion was really more about how fun it was for both sides. It sounds like both the alumni and the regular baseball team, the current baseball team, and then the fans involved as well, just to get out there and play some baseball. But when you look at this, did anybody surprise you on the Red Raiders side of things, the regular team?
Surprise me?
Yeah.
I don't think so.
Okay.
I mean, I've seen these guys a bunch between the fall and the spring, so nobody really surprised me. It was the first time I'd seen Connor Schaus pitch, and I mean he was at 96 on the gun, and I think that's one of the reasons why they are considering using him 2 ways, both as a hitter and a pitcher.
And what would his in the field position be other than pitcher?
Well, he's played a lot of third base, but they're playing him more in right field right now. It feels like third base is more, at this point, coming down to Lincoln Garcia or Luke Orphy.
Yeah.
And that Schaus is more likely to be in right field. Maybe Coach Tadlock's just trying to figure out if he can play it and give those other guys a chance at third, but he looks better out there, in my opinion, than he does at third base defensively. Mm-hmm. And he's a really good hitter and a great athlete, so that's a guy that you expect to see in the lineup every day.
He pitched a third of an inning, 3 hitters, gave up a run, but struck out 1 in the 4 batters that he faced through 20 pitches, 13 of which were strikes. Is he a guy that could come in and just be a...
I would think he would be. If you would use him as a 1-inning guy, yeah.
Okay, I was thinking maybe a couple hitter guy.
Possibly.
Get you an out when you needed one. Mm-hmm. What about Logan Hughes? He had 2 home runs off of Hunter Dobbins and then 1 off of Trendon Parrish.
Yes. Logan Hughes is a good baseball player, and he was first team All Big 12 last year and preseason All Big 12 this year, and I would guess he's one of the candidates for Big 12 Player of the Year. Led the conference in home runs last year while still hitting .327, so guy hits for average and power, and it was just more of the same with him.
Well, that's got to make him feel good to hit one off of Dobbins, right?
Yeah, I mean, Hunter said, he's coming off a knee surgery, and Hunter said that was the first live batter those were the first live batters that he's faced.
Okay.
And so you could see he was rusty, but no, absolutely a big leaguer that you're taking deep. And the second home run was 450.
Oh, goodness.
450. Yeah, that's a long ways.
That's a long ways.
On a cold day where the ball is not necessarily carrying.
That had to hurt your hands, right?
I'm not sure. I don't think if you hit it on the sweet part of the bat, it doesn't hurt.
Okay. And if it probably goes,
I would guess it was the sweet spot.
I mean, if you hit it that far too, I mean, there might be the little sting in your hands, but you can get over that quickly, right?
Yeah, my hands might hurt from me clapping so hard, slapping my teammates' hands so hard, coming around the bases if I ever hit one that far.
Did anybody play a position that surprised you? Like I was like, oh, I didn't know he was going to do that.
No, just because Coach Tadlock during these fall and spring workouts, he moves guys around a bunch. Okay. And so, you see guys play all over the place, and you wonder, okay, is that really a spot that he expects them to play, or is he just wanting somebody else to be playing that guy's particular spot? Like yesterday in the scrimmage, Matt Quintanar, who I think will be your starting catcher, was playing right field. I don't think we're going to see him in right field ever. He's also played third base and second base and looked fine doing that. Mm-hmm. I think Matt Quintanar is going to catch a lot.
Okay.
and maybe DH some. I do not expect to see him in right field.
But they took yesterday's game seriously, right?
Saturday's game?
I mean, Saturday's game, yeah. Sorry,
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think Coach Tadlock wanted to learn some of the things about his guys. I tell you what, the 2 freshman pitchers, Adam Hayes and Jesse Rusnick, they both look great. And I think Hayes could be in the mix for your starting weekend rotation.
Wow. And
Rusnick's a 2-way guy that also played outfield in the game, and he might be your best left-handed pitcher. And so those 2 freshmen I thought looked great. I thought Jackson Burns looked good. He gave up the 3-run homer in the first and then hung zeros after that. I thought he looked good as well. So I thought that was good news that the pitching looked really good.
This has been the Morning Drive Podcast, presented by Cantex Roofing and Construction. Check out our library of Double T 97.3 podcasts at doublet97.3.com.